sure the room looks good. Perfect. Good energy. Okay. Welcome to the U.S. Borax Visitor Center. We are part of Rio Tinto. We're part of Rio Tinto, and everyone tells me that this is the best visitor center in Rio Tinto. So if you haven't gone out to take a peek over the landing, please do. Isn't it cool? It's worth your time. We are a 151-year-old organization, and we've been at this location specifically since 1927. But we started in Death Valley in 1872. So we have a long history. My name is Mary Beth Garrison, for those that don't know me. People call me MB. I'm the External Affairs, Communities, and Government Manager for Rio Tinto U.S. Borax. And I'm just proud to welcome y'all, and y'all came out to Eastern Kern, and I love that too. We're going to take a minute for each of you just to stand up, say who you are, what organization you are representing, and smile and wave. Okay, we'll start with Laura Lynn.
Hi, good afternoon. Laura Lynn Wyatt, District Director for Kern County Supervisor Zach Scribner.
Very good.
Hi. Karen Macedonian, Council Member for the City of California City. And at the end of the meeting, I'll be somebody else, but I'll tell you later.
Wow. Okay.
Are you the shape I'm Dave Jantz, Chairman Lake Alliance, with Rich Preston. I'm also representing the city today because they're off and we have a meeting, so.
Okay. Very good.
I'm only going to be one person though.
Okay.
I'm going to be two.
Hi, Richard Chapman, Kern EDC.
For an ABC.
Thank you for coming today.
Beautiful. John?
John Joyce, Roseman News.
He's going to take pictures of you, so smile.
Joel McKay, RMAC from Roseman.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, I'm Mackenzie Miller from Ekedc.
Jeanette Tower, Councilman, City of Chappie.
Hello, I'm Shelley White from the Edwards Air Force Base Small Business Office.
Matt Chartier, Los Angeles Air Force Base, Deputy Director, Small Business Office, Space Force.
Heather Benesh, Mohammed Chamber.
Mark Olson, Vice President of Operations for Pacific Steel Group.
Kurt Hildebrand with Hyperstore.
Greg Garrett, Tehachapi City Manager.
Carol Ford, Sullivan Federal Credit Union Manager, Cal City and Boron.
Caitlin Benson, Traffic Engineering and Design.
Cal Rossi, Southern California Edison. I work for her.
Susan Wiggins, City of Tehachapi Council.
Daniel Eberhardt, PhD candidate, Harvard.
Russell Johnson, Common Sense Consulting.
Cody Crispell, District 1 Supervisor, Fellow Peters.
Please, welcome.
Indy Berhaba, Kern Community College District.
Corey Costello, Assistant City Manager, City of Tehachapi.
Carly Sullivan. Here. Here.
Okay.
Oh, some people coming in, you get to introduce yourself on your way in.
Maybe do a song and dance.
That would be nice.
I'm Devin Johnson. I am the Manager of Development over at Cal State University, Bakersfield.
Okay.
Steve Martin with CSUB as well.
Wow, thanks for coming, CSUB. Y'all put it out here, I like it. There's a couple people I see in the room I need to nab before you leave, just for a quick conversation, and it's you guys with small business at Edwards, and I'd like to talk to you about something we have, so for everyone. Okay, that was just a side note, sorry about that. We are going to start this meeting with a Rio Tinto U.S. Borax update. So, as I shared with you, we've been here quite a long time. We just 2 days ago met with Lorelei and Craig with the Kern County Planning, and we are with the application to extend our CUP for 99 years. I probably won't be here to see the end of that or probably the next one, but that is pretty exciting, and we're pretty excited about that. That'll probably go to the Board of Supervisors at the first or second meeting of the new year. So that's pretty exciting. We are also looking at so many different things. We have 20,000 acres adjacent to our mine site, and we're looking for different land applications for that. So if there's anyone here that has an idea, we can talk. We have some folks that can talk. We have at least half of it zoned M3, which is a great zoning application, and we are in the process of rezoning other parts of that land. So we're looking at carbon neutrality projects, things like that. And Rio Tinto strives to be a company that does the right thing for the right reasons. So we're very excited about that. Let's see, I think I was going to say one more thing. You all know that in that space of reducing carbon emissions, we are the first mine site in the world to actually convert all of our large fleet vehicles to renewable diesel. And that's pretty amazing. That's a plant-based diesel, and it will remove NOx by 70% from previous. So that's pretty cool. And so when you go and take a peek out our window, when I open the curtain at the end, or you go around and you'll see those haul trucks that look like little teeny Tonka trucks, just remember they're the size of a 2-story house. So with that, that's my updates. So now I'm going to turn it over to Kern EDC, and they are going to bring us up to speed and up to date. We want to try to keep everyone to 5 minutes, no more than that. I was told 3, so if you can do it, Richard. I know.
Thanks very much
We'll see.
for hosting us. And 99 years from now, what is that? That would be.
It is 21:25.
Okay, great. And we do have a video we may be able to play. So the last East Kern Economic Alliance meeting we met in Mojave, we showed the Strata launch video. We did release one, actually, episode 1 is with Tim Reed at the spaceport. If we're not able to play it, it's on our website, kernedc.com, and it's where business is boundless. I just got the draft of the 3rd episode, which does anyone know where the 3rd episode was filmed? The Tehachapi. So we filmed an amazing episode with Jim Arnold, and we're just adding a little bit, some factoids about ag in general. We are the number 3 ag county in the country, 7.7 billion output. What percentage of the U.S. carrots come from Kern County? Does anyone know? 80. Pardon me?
85.
80, yeah. But I just posted on LinkedIn our updated fact sheet, so you can go in and find out about what we do. We have, I think, 15% of the world's pistachios and 18% almonds, or vice versa. How many more minutes do I have?
You have 2.5.
Okay. So episode 3 will be coming out within the next week or 2. We're really excited about covering the whole county. Obviously, East Kern's critical in terms of our economic diversity. We're number 3 in the country, as well as STEM jobs. I know many of you were at the Career Expo in Mojave. Exciting. I think they had 1,700 kids and about 50 employers. We also have upcoming in a week, a little less than a week, the Energy Summit, Kern County Energy Summit. I actually have copies of the agenda. When you look at this, of course, look at how many East Kern companies are. Actually, we have some East Kern. We have from HydroStore. They're one of our big sponsors. So you'll be hearing about HydroStore, $1 billion plus project. And that will be all types of energy, right? I mean, the theme is about collaboration and energy evolution. It's happening in Kern County, right? Majority of the state's oil and gas, as well as renewable energy, come from Kern County. And so it's a half-day event. Has anybody signed up? Raise your hand. Okay, there you go. We'll have you out by 12:20. And but I think it's really inspirational for us to help. You all are telling the story. We had international investors know about Kern County. It's a place where these projects can come to fruition, and public and private sector work together, right? What a novel concept. but that's where we will see on the 15th of November, Marriott in Bakersfield. And we're sold out. So we have record number of sponsors, run the gamut, all types of energy and other industries as well. And there will be videotape. But each segment will be produced and actually curated out. So we will be sending that out within basically 10 days after. I stay in the county. You'll get more. It's on the 25th of January. Our lead sponsor
Is Rio Tinto
there you
US
go.
Borax?
Career sponsor. So that will be actually at Mechanics. This year will be at Mechanics. So we're really excited about working with the county on that. So I think I win.
You would.
Perfect. So if we have the video to play later, and I have copies of our market overview, I thank you, John, for your appreciation as well on this. And again, we use local talent, Kern County talent, and won an International EDC award. So thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you. Anybody have questions or raise your hand? Anybody? Any questions?
Great.
Okay.
The boom going on back here though.
That's a sonic boom.
Yeah, okay.
We're real close to Edwards Air Force Base, and we hear them multiple times a day.
If you stay until 4:30, you'll be able to catch the blast.
Yeah. Carly's right, and if for some reason you want to hang around till 4:30, you'll see a blast, a dynamite blast.
Really, the mine?
Yes.
Do we need to wear glasses?
No, because you're going to be way far away. But I will tell you, if you want to see a cool video, it's me doing the countdown and igniting the blast. It was great fun. Okay, is anyone here from AVH? I didn't hear, and I don't see. Okay. Then we have district number 1. Come on up. I'm so happy you're here.
Well, thanks for having me. So I'll try to keep it brief here. Just want to thank you for letting me provide an update for Supervisor Philip Peters on what's going on in District 1. He's been working hard on addressing challenges in District 1 that have been created by the winter storms and our economic challenges and state legislation. He's been working with county departments to address deficiencies and improve action with homelessness, code violations, and neglected properties actions to decrease the length of time required for code violations and abating those violations, to increase the number of code compliance officers, sheriff officers specific to Kern County, to increase the staffing required for delinquent tax sales and to shorten the time to be on auction, to provide greater accountability of property owners that allow their property to go into neglect and be tolerant of encampments, and working to have a greater collaboration between departments in the county in addressing code violations and addressing homelessness in the district. As well, we've been working to restore some of our roads and parks that were really affected by the winter storms. We immediately did work to make the parks safe again, where kids can actually go there, families can go there, for Riverside Park and Pink Park in the Kern River Valley. There's a lot more work to be done. We're applying for federal funding to bring those back up to where they were. Same with some of the roads in the area that were completely washed out or that created challenges during the winter storms. We're trying to get ahead of that for future storms and any potential El Nino. And so Sierra Way is a big one. That was completely washed out. The bridge did not wash out, but we will be doing a bridge reconstruct with a better design, better plan for the future. Working to restore the road for emergency access right now, and we'll have a long-term solution to that with box culverts. Same with Ransburg Road, that we're going to bring box culverts in there. We got over $5 million coming and invested into the Lake Isabella area with sidewalks, roads in Weldon, the neighborhood in Weldon, some pedestrian safety improvements in Wofford Heights. And so all over the Kern River Valley, because there's been a lot of neglect, there and a lot of damage from the storms. He's doing a lot of work to improve the infrastructure there as well. Want to mention that Current Transit has grants that will allow anybody to use the Current Transit from Lake Isabella to Kern River Valley for free beginning in November to the end of the year. And across the county in December, everyone rides free. And so those are great resources. Students during the school year can ride free at Current Transit just by showing the driver their ID badge. So very grateful for them providing that for us as well. And lastly, with waste, on September 19th, a public hearing was set for upcoming December 5th for the following items to be heard: resolutions to include only mandated areas into the 14 unique universal collection areas required by SB 1383, and ordinances to adopt the schedule of universal solid waste collection charges for fiscal year 2024 to 2025. Public information meetings have been taking place. Public Works has sent out mailers to inform the public and inform them on their right to protest. And so December 5th, that will all come to a head and we'll see it before the Board of Supervisors. So thank you again for allowing me to give a brief and quick update.
Good job.
For District 1. Thank you.
I just have to say thank you for paying attention, tell the supervisor, to that Kern River Valley area. I know they feel often neglected, and there is a lot of work that needs to be done, and they were damaged pretty heavily.
Well, I are one.
I'm one of those people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's great.
Thank you.
Cody?
Yes.
Can I ask a question on the Current Transit? Does that grant have a termination time, or is the idea to get this going and make it permanent for Current Transit from Kern River Valley?
Personally, I'd love to see that, a permanent, but they're kind of rolling with the calendar year and the grants and the funding they can secure. And then I think we're pretty high up on the list when it comes to where they allocate that money and provide that service.
And I would think if it proved fruitful and busy, that would play well into that.
And there are, people can pay for exemptions and waivers, or apply for exemptions and waivers depending on their medical status, and if they need to get to a doctor. Public Works has those available for them as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all have been up there at Lake's Full too.
Yeah, looks beautiful, doesn't it?
Come up.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. Up next is District 2, Laura Lynn.
Good afternoon. Once again, I'm Laura Lynn Wyatt with Kern County Supervisor Zach Scribner's office, District 2. Jeanette's in 2 too, so we have our District 2s in. Pacific Steel is here today, so I don't want to steal any thunder, no pun intended. But 400 jobs are estimated for that project, so I hope you'll share some details later. That's exciting, and it's just outside my hobby. So, Hard Rock Hotel Resort Casino. I'm sure Richard will make sure that you are all invited, but it is anticipated that there will be groundbreaking in December. So that's a very exciting project. We have a lot of park construction projects going in District 2 right now. Mojave East Park is looking at a complete remodel and revamp and update to that park. It is currently out of planning and permitting stage, and it is out for contractor bids. So contractor bids are coming in for that project as we speak. Rosamond Skate Park is still in design. Boron Park, we just finished a rehab project on their community building. And just today, the contract has been signed, sealed, delivered. A local group, nonprofit called Boron Alive will be managing that building on behalf of the county. It's beautiful, new flooring, new paint, new windows, great project. And they will also be looking at a new skate park and a new splash pad at that facility. Those are also both still in design phase. But I will share with this group, since we are at the mine, that to label that skate park Boron, Rio Tinto is graciously giving us one of the large haul truck tires to incorporate into the skate park design.
Would that not be cool?
So
If
it's
you're a
really,
skater?
it's exciting. It's really fun. So, but we're still, doing those designs. So that's my update for today, unless there's questions for District 2. No, thank you very much.
Very good, excellent. Tehachapi's up next. Mr. Corey Costello, just back from the New York Marathon.
For the record, I can't wait to shred the tire.
Get it.
Okay, we can't wait to videotape.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be a really short video.
We'll have all
Skateboard, we opened the one attached to
I saw you,
in
yeah.
a suit. So, real quick, I want to do a couple things that I brought up at our Greater Tehachapi Economic Development Council meeting last week. Some of you may have seen in the news that the city of Tehachapi pushed quite a bit with Senator Shannon Grove and KernCog to get some funding moved up for Highway 58. Those of you that came here from Bakersfield probably got stuck behind drag racing trucks. There are 3 segments of truck climbing lanes to be built one day. Thankfully, segment 2 was funded. Shannon Grove pushed very hard. The Caltrans, they upped that funding for a couple years from now, so they're underway right now in some of their studies on land acquisition. So it was a big deal, and we really started diving into the safety aspect. Obviously is important at number 1, but then what does that mean economically? And I pulled up a study that was done a couple years ago by the Highway Safety Board, and it shows right now there's 12 billion tons of freight running on Highway 58 a year. And they're expecting every year 1.6% increase until 2050. And that'll go to 17 billion tons of freight. So that's a very important route for moving goods and services out this direction, further out to Las Vegas, I-40, and all that stuff. So very important, critical route. But then we even kind of dug in as well and looked at our visitors through our AI data, our overnight visitors, the folks that are spending money coming up from other areas, and we found about 50% of them are using Highway 58. They're coming from Bakersfield, the Central Coast, Northern California, and they're getting to Tehachapi via Highway 58. And a lot of them complain about that road and how they like coming to Tehachapi, but they don't like that road because of the traffic and the danger. So that equated to about, in the last 18 months, 100,000 visitors who have come to Tehachapi, and that's equated to 300,000 hotel stays. So it's over 50% of our visitors have used that route. So that's one of the real important segments as well, why that was being pushed for quite heavily. It's considered what they call a primary highway freight system route, and California's got about 3,000 miles of those PFHS routes, Highway 58 being one of them. And of all the traffic, the vehicle miles traveled in California, 21% of those vehicle miles traveled are done by trucks hauling freight. So it's a huge, huge impact on the state transportation system. And so it's a very important route for a variety of reasons, from safety, tourism, movement of goods and services, and economic development. So that was one of the reasons why we were very involved in that sort of project and pushing that along through the Sacramento bureaucracy. Real quick, just wrapped up a few weeks ago, ICSC in San Diego, one of the 2 major retail shows that we go to a year. Noticed a big shift to small communities. Sitting and talking with some of these larger retailers, they're closing stores in Los Angeles, Portland, Seattle, New York, LA, wherever, because of retail theft, and they're reshifting their focus to smaller markets where their investment potentially will be safer, although they might make less money, they're going to lose less money. So we're trying to take advantage of that. And a lot of the way we do that is to invest in our infrastructure and our support. Our police chief, Monday night at the council meeting, he's got a reorg going with his police department. He's adding 2 lieutenants, a few other positions, funds that we've made available through our Measure S. And road infrastructure, been to Tehachapi lately, we've got a lot of surface projects that are going on as well. And that helps attract and also keep those businesses there. And then another part of what we do is the support for those projects. And I know we have Pacific Steel here. We also have Hydro Store here as well. Those types of projects, also the solar projects out in East Kern. All these people are going to end up moving somewhere, living somewhere. A lot of them are going to end up in Tehachapi. And we're looking at, when you have a manufacturing job, Every one manufacturing job means 4 additional support jobs created in a community where those people settle. We see that in Tehachapi currently with some of the manufacturing we have. In Unisem, that's the new company that just bought what was formerly Mark Marietta, before that Lehigh. Unisem's out of Peru, and so they completed that acquisition. And so those types of jobs, the projects like Hydrostore, Pacific Steel, they're going to bring people. And you know, those projects, they bring jobs. The jobs drive the rooftops, and the rooftops drive the retail. So it's a big economic development ecosystem that we're trying to make sure we have a part of. And so we know those projects will have an impact on our community. That's why we start investing in police infrastructure now. That way, when they're here, we're ready to go and to welcome them. So it's all kind of our big ecosystem we continue to push in the city. So that's it for me. Any questions? Oh, yes, ma'am.
How many people did you, I think I remember you saying, how many people left Tehachapi for their jobs every day?
About 60% of the eligible workforce, yes. And about half of that comes this direction, and the other half goes to the San Joaquin Valley. So quite a few come here to the U.S. border access, for sure.
We have
including Indy.
including about 110 employees live in Tehachapi that work here. The only area that's larger is Boron, North Edwards, which is 100 people. So we're the second largest represented community at U.S. border.
Thank you.
And we now have, just so you know, we have a commuter bus that leaves from downtown.
All right.
Yeah.
Good thing we built that, see?
Yeah.
You know what we use.
Yep,
Awesome.
it leaves at 6 o'clock and it's back about 6 o'clock.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, Ridgecrest, City of Ridgecrest.
I'm going to be seated for medical reasons, so bear
Perfect.
with me, please.
Just be comfortable.
The city's got a lot that you've probably heard about, a lot of quality of life stuff we've been working on all year. And we had a number of significant events in the last 2 months that marked milestones. We celebrated the 60th anniversary of the city of Ridgecrest at the historical Upper Mojave District. And that's our old USO building that was built during World War II timeframe. That's restored and designated a historical site, and that is one of the 3 museums in town: the China Lake Museum, the Matarango Cultural and Natural History Museum, and the historic Upper Mojave District. So that's the 3rd one, which is the historic USO building. We also had the base's 80th anniversary, founded in November of 1943, think for a minute, 1943, when it was founded, by the way. I'm not sure everybody knows this. It was the Navy and DOD put together a plan to respond to the Nazi rocket development program. So all the guys that you've heard, Willy von Braun, and what was the V2s and V1s for World War II buffs, that was their program. It was going full speed, and the Navy and Caltech joined up to provide the answer for that program. They needed a place bigger than Placer Canyon, or Placerita Canyon down in the LA basin. So they drove up north and found the Indian Wells Valley and said, this is it. Because they had every transportation hookup there was there. The LA Aqueduct for water had runways that were already there at Indian Current that were originally a support runway for airlines in the 40s and 30s, by the way. So that's where they established it, and it became 1.1 million acres. 38% of the Navy's land holdings worldwide, the world's largest Navy base. Almost nobody knows it's that big. When you drive into the valley, it's huge, north and south, 1.1 million acres. So that was the 80th anniversary, and it was celebrated at the China Lake Museum, held by the Museum Foundation. We also had, and this is the place, where's Corey? Oh yeah, are you using Placer.ai?
Yes.
So we had the big city controversy among the citizenry about getting Placer.ai because it has the AI name tag to it. It's not AI. It's algorithms that track, numbers related to your census district, where people come in and out, and so you can see for community events where people come from, including all over the state. and they don't have any access to your personal information. But we had at the Denver Empire Fair this year, the biggest fair ever, 21,000 people. Ridgecrest, 21,000, our population's only about 28,000, so we had 21,000 on Saturday. And they came from all over, a lot of information about folks traveling from outside. And that's the kind of stuff that we're looking for with regards to a number of business areas that you can use it for at ICSC conventions to attract. As a small community, we'll all have attracting the attention of some of the franchises that you might want and your citizens might want in your community. So that is starting already to prove its value. But 21,000 people on Saturday. We had booze for Halloween. We had booze, B-O-O-S, off Balsam. We've had a continuing series. Balsam is our main street. So we've had a continuing series of community events and parties we hold typically on Friday night or Saturday night. And that's been growing to several thousand now, and it's getting more and more popular. We're alternating it because we have a lot of street repair going on that we call Carmageddon, because we're paving our two major arteries as well as a lot of others. But so we've had to move it from the city complex and the park there to the down. Our main plan was to develop the downtown area in Balsam. So it originally was night off Balsam and then night on Balsam, night off Balsam, and booze for Halloween off Balsam. And we had also a great trick-or-treat thing that we call trunk-or-treat for the kids. That was the biggest one ever. So we're going great guns in the quality of life effort that the mayor and the city council have been working on. City manager and city staff have been very successful at that. And model after some things that you others have done. We've also had the Petroglyph Festival, November 4th and 5th. And we've got an upcoming Christmas tree lighting. We've coordinated, the base is doing one on the base, and they're going to have snow truck in. They're going to be delivering Santa Claus. Of course, it comes by helicopter. So they're coordinating their event with us, and so we've deconflicted them. So there's 1 week, one weekend, December 1st weekend, we're going to have on the base, and then December 8th is going to be the communities. So there's some great collaboration going on with the base, and that's, in most of our communities, you have one of the two bases that's nearby and dominates things. That's really important. It's going very well right now. For next year, our big focus is we don't have a pool, and we've been working very diligently. We've got the funding. We passed our property or our tax initiative to get that, and so the pool is going to be constructed next year during the year, and our target is January of 2025 to get that pool in place. That will be huge for the city, and it will mark a line of demarcation for a lot of citizens, especially lower income that don't have access to the base and some of the facilities that they have out there. Water, that's still our biggest problem. I think I talked last time about we've identified we need an interconnect. We've identified the route of that interconnect. It's going to hook up to ABEC at Cal City Junction, go up for 50 miles up 395 and 14 and across the Garlock, and it's going to be about a $200 million project, which the community cannot afford. So we've decided which path we're going to take. There are two main options for federal grant, and we picked that main. The first option, there'll be a 75% coverage, so that's 150 of the 200 million. That means the community is going to have a lift of 50 million, and we're looking for 50% of that, working with the state to come from the state as a match required. And then the rest of it, we're going to be on our own for additional smaller grants we can get and for revolving state fund at a reduced rate, but that's still going to be a heavy cost. We also have to purchase
30 seconds.
Okay. Sorocoso and enrollment's up. That's the community college. 60% of it's online, up to 11K. On base, we've got earthquake recovery. Is proceeding at about halfway through the $4.1 billion projects. We have ribbon cuttings for the Academic Training Center and the Dr. Peggy Rogers Integration Lab. Most of you didn't know, Dr. Peggy Rogers was the first woman that made state-funded or federally funded public law a senior, the equivalent to senior executive now. She was the first woman about the same time that Grace Hopper in the mathematics community made admiral in her service for the Navy. So she's one of the real trailbreakers in the government. A bunch of other ones coming on. We've got.
I gave them 9 minutes, you guys.
I'm going to cover 2 things. The only thing I'll say is we've got one concern I want to share with you. The state electric vehicle mandates for trucking greatly affects us, our explosives business. Rio Tinto, you probably have a concern about this.
Of course.
We can't, for our explosive arcs, we can't park them within 150 feet of buildings, but more importantly, for transport, and we've got to work on our advocacy up to our senior legislators. We can't transport explosives in and out. That's the Naval Air Warfare Center. We do weapons for the country. That's a huge for us. It takes us out of business.
Yeah, makes sense, yeah. Good report, good report. Okay, Rosamond, I know you're here. Armac.
He's going to give him an update.
Okay.
Yeah, Roseman,
Okay.
thank you, Mary Beth.
You bet.
First thing Roseman would like to do is congratulate Richard for this beautiful, and the best it's ever been, magazine, which highlights our county. Not enough East Kern in it, and I said to Richard we should have one of these for East Kern, and maybe we will someday. But it's an excellent job, editorially, and it moves quickly. And then I'd like to announce that Jay Leno is putting on a presentation at Lancaster to raise money for the Flight Test Museum, which is being built. If you'd like to buy tickets, I don't know if there's any left. It's been very well subscribed.
Jay Leno? Is he related to Jay Leno?
Yeah, Jay Leno. Okay.
Sorry.
All right. You know who, the funny guy, right?
He drove a haul truck.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Right, but go online to the Flight Test Museum and get further information, directions, and time and stuff like that. And our light parade in Roseland is going to be on December 2nd. You can sign up and have a float or just come and watch. And it starts at 6 p.m. And our 2 big YouTubes up on our website, on our YouTube website this year are the hydrogen airplane. They are going to run the engines on hydrogen, and they're testing it in Mojave right now. They gave a very excellent presentation to the press. It's so quiet, it doesn't even sound like an engine running on hydrogen. And the benefit of the hydrogen plane is that it's less costly to maintain, and really a beautiful organization of parts. And then the YouTube we put up yesterday shows 100 motorcycles leading the Vietnam Wall package out to Roseland. It's now set up at the West Park Elementary School. You can get there by going down, get off Roseland Boulevard, go west to 40th, go south, and there it is. It's been an incredible project for Roseland because it's brought together all the people. And Joel is going to tell us about, he was one of the major sponsors with the Roseland Municipal Advisory Council. We were given a number of $7,500 to set the wall up, but Joel has taken it from there. I'll let him continue it.
Okay, Joel, we have 3 minutes, 33 seconds.
Okay, I'll get that.
Trying to be fair.
I grew up in Roseland. And when I grew up, Roseman was a community. If I did something and on the way home from school and mom was asking me about it, I knew half a dozen neighbors had called her. We lost that community aspect. The wall has brought the community together. We raised over $18,000. Or I'm sorry, $25,000 to bring the wall to Roseman. And whatever's left after expenses, the committee's decided to donate that money to the next city to give them a building block.
Oh, that's super
And
cool.
like John said, we have the Christmas parade coming up. We're having a lot of vendors, Kern County Fire, Kern County Sheriffs, behavioral health. I think there's like 26 vendors last time I heard. We starting at 10 o'clock. The parade will start at 6. So a lot of good things coming to Roseman. So
Good job.
so.
Well done, well done. Thank you. Okay, very good. Mojave. Where are you speaking?
I
Yeah. Okay, around Rosewood.
Okay,
Thank you.
in Mojave, we are looking forward to the completion of the transit center and the East Park. We are working, a couple of our resident citizens have taken on the trash mandate issue and are assiduously door-to-door with a spreadsheet with APN numbers, owners' names, trying to get sufficient protest ballots in. And the line of that flyer brochure is that it's not clear that the signature line at the bottom is, it's not clear that that's actually a protest ballot. So I'm sure that that was a design oversight, but people are throwing them away because it looks like just another piece of junk mail that comes. It's like, anyway, so we, those citizens have gone to the county and gotten a proper format for a protest ballot, and they are door to door and hand delivering to the public works to make sure that things are in on time and hopefully counted correctly. There's a discontent about law enforcement because there's been a rash of graffiti and just general vandalism, people breaking into other people's backyards, etc. The online reporting is very unsatisfactory. We don't get a deputy visit, and so people feel like there's no point in even reporting if there's really no response. So, sorry, you can store that.
I don't work for the sheriff's department.
Yeah, it's gonna be, and I'm Laura Lynn.
I know, but she's,
Yep.
she knows where to report that to. And as far as Hydrostore and Pack Steel and other industries that are looking at locating industries around Mojave and between that lovely area between Mojave, Rosamond, and you're going to bring 300 jobs, 400 jobs, thousands of jobs. There is no housing in Mojave. We're surrounded by state-of-the-art industries. We have a very limited supply of 1940s era houses, and basically there's no vacancy. There's nothing there. So what I would say to Rosamond and to Hatchapee especially, get those developments approved because they're coming your way. There's no place for them there's no place for them in Mojave. We'd love to have some, but apparently the return on investment, nobody can afford the infrastructure, and so get ready because they're all going to be in your community, and we're congratulations. We'd love to have it, but we're strangled by, with land, the wind and solar, there's so many developments, they're really strangling, encroaching upon buildable areas. And then you're probably also going to need to look at the county improvements to Tehachapi, Low Springs, and Backus Road, and especially the intersection, Sierra Highway and East 58 coming from Hum, because those are going to be areas which are going to be terrifically congested. Tehachapi, Low Springs won't tolerate, and they can't carry the increased traffic from those, a couple hundred people commuting down into the small area, one character. So that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's see who is up next. The Kern River Valley.
Justin wasn't able to make it.
Okay. Then we'll have Cal City. Karen?
I'm going to follow Dave's lead. I'm getting older, so I'm going to sit. On behalf of California City, just think of us as a snow globe. We've shaken it all up again. We have another new interim city manager. She's been on the job for 2 weeks. I have no idea who she is yet, haven't had a chance to sit down and talk to her, but she is ambitious. She lives in Long Beach. She worked she was city council for the city of Santa Ana for 12 years. And during her first meeting, I kind of put her on the spot because I had lots of questions. And what she said was essentially, Cal City, you've got to straighten up your act. So right now where we are is seeing how we get stability and sustainability, and we've got enough of our dirty laundry out there that I'm hoping we can become one of you. I'm not sure which one, I don't want to be you right at the moment. But we are Eastern Current, we're all in this together. We're fighting the infrastructure. And what I'm going to talk about later with my other hat, well, it'll give you some other ideas. So for right now, Cal City, hopefully by our next meeting, we'll have a little more information with the new eyes on the projects.
Karen, I was told she's permanent city manager. Interim only. Does that mean she's a stopgap filler, or do you intend to hire her along with?
The street story that I picked up today, story on the street, not official information, is that she is planning on running for Congress in 2026. So we have somebody for a period of time who clearly, if this is a career move, she wants to do it right, she wants to really make a difference. But what I told one of our other council members this morning, we need to really start a permanent city manager search yesterday. And our existing council, we have had lots of ups and downs, kind of got off track, but it's very clear. So she doesn't seem to be afraid of what she's coming for, but it's not long-term. It might be a year or 2 years. It is interim city manager. And at this point, she's working without a contract. Her contract has not been brought to the council yet. So it's going to be interesting in the next few weeks. And I said to somebody, I don't remember who it was, somebody in East Current, I said, she's working without a contract. And he said, well, I would. And I said, why? And he says, I don't know what I'd be getting into. I wouldn't want an obligation. So I'm feeling good about the potential professionalism of what we can tap, but we have to tap it. And that's been our problem. Cal City hasn't been able to pull the cord. And we're now looking at all the things we haven't done. The question is whether we can. So that's where I'm hoping. We've got lots of people that want to make it work. And if she's strong enough, why, we could really maybe make a difference. But we're continuing with building. We're continuing with all the things that a city does, slowly, but actually more efficiently. The city clerk put in a new sound system and a new video system, so now the public can hear what we're talking about. So I think we're maybe making a turn, but we've got a lot of work to do. We've got it, and everybody here's been there. We've all been rural eastern Kern County. The question is, how can we become what's on the table for what we can be?
Good job. That would be great. I've seen lots of things happen in Cal City over the last couple of decades, and so I'm encouraged. Okay, now we are to the part of the meeting where we have members' comments, and I think there's a few people that want to make some presentations. Comments? Anybody? Or we're gonna get out of here early, we're not gonna be able to go home.
Well, I mean, I would love, first
I would
thing, like Pacific's deal,
Yeah, I
Mark,
would too.
and we're talking about your projects
Yeah.
as we go
Why
around.
don't you come up?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could start. I actually presented at the Economic Council meeting in Tehachapi. I don't even remember, what, last week? It's been a lot of work that we've been undergoing the last several months, but at the end of the day, our draft environmental impact report will be publicized next week, the 17th. So it'll be an opportunity for people to really understand better the project. It is steel manufacturing. Steel isn't manufactured in California anymore, and we want to bring it back. It's going to be clean manufacturing. We're going to have carbon capture utilization, not sequestration. But it's 400 jobs, as we talked about, and we want to do as much, provide as much employment in Kern County as possible. We have a community of Rosamond, we have a community of Mojave, California City, and Tehachapi, looking for opportunities to bring employees in from those locations. And Laurel, I maybe promised I wouldn't bring them from LA County, so as much as possible, Kern County. So it's an exciting project. Hopefully, if we can get through the process early 2024, we should be able to start building the facility in mid next year, mid 2024. So it's a 22-month project.
Where's the property located?
The property is located, it's about 8 miles south of Mojave and 5 miles north of Rosamond. So it's Sierra Highway and South Road.
So they're on the east side of,
Yeah.
14.
The east side. And
On 14, yeah.
we share,
Between Sierra Highway and 14? Or?
actually, it's on the east side of Sierra Highway,
Okay.
between Sierra Highway and Edwards Air Force Base.
Okay.
There, it's near a former, maybe it's still the operational lock factory.
Yeah, it's across the street.
Across the street.
Yeah, I don't know that it's operating any longer.
I don't think.
Doesn't
it
appear to
is.
be. But yeah, across
It's
the
the
street.
road you take to go to the village.
What's the capital investment on that project?
540 million. So a $540 million project. So I'll say, 3 years ago, when it was an idea, it was 350. So we all know what's happened from an escalatory cost environment. So we've been able to hang on, we've been able to maintain our financing partners, but the regulatory process is a long and arduous road. So.
Grueling.
Truly.
Is there a website?
Yes, it's, just look up Pacific Steel Group. I think it's pacificsteelgroup.com. But, Pacific Steel Group, you'll see it. Our corporate office is in San Diego, but we have some information on the website.
Are you doing any hiring right now of any?
We will be in,
people?
we have to get through
I know.
the sequel.
Yeah,
process.
sequel. Okay.
Before we-
Understood.
What's the maximum height?
165 feet.
It's because we fly out of the airport.
Yeah, we're,
2 miles away from the.
right, we're outside the range of that airport, and we've had approval from the Edwards Air Force Base for the height. So no concerns there from the airport.
Yeah,
The local airport?
there's a small private airport, which is across the street.
Yeah, and it's referenced in the CEQA document, the environmental impact report, so that's been looked at, and Mojave Space Port, and Edwards Air Force Base. So we looked at all the airports. Okay, so I'll be active in organizations like the Economic Development for Tehachapi and Greater Tehachapi, and also Kern County Economic Development. So
Thank you, Roy.
it's early 2024, but it's a 22-month construction. So once we get the green light,
What kind of workforce position do you do?
we've already reached out to the community college of Bakersfield, Saragossa, sorry. So we're going to need automation and controls and maintenance folks, millwrights and pipers and electricians and engineers. So
We gotta make sure we keep those people here, so they don't go there. We all need those skill sets, and that's why community college, vocational education is so critical. We need millwrights, we need those same people.
Absolutely, yeah.
And at the mine, we have a whole group of people who are retiring right now. And so we need to replace them. And how do we replace when we don't have those skill sets?
And this is me personally, in 76. I'm looking back at how much I didn't know. I got a California State Scholarship, I got all the education, etc. But I didn't get taught how to have a career, how to have a job that would build on it through decades. And that's what I'm really seeing is missing. We talk about the workforce, and we know that we need it, but somehow there is a gap in the middle where we have to build awareness. And it's not just education for the job, it's the hope in the child that says, oh, I can do that. I like to do A, B, or C.
When we go to Career Fest, we talk about a career at US Borax, not a job. Even if you just need a high school degree to get in on the entry level, we do all training for IE in instrumentation and electrical. We do millwright training. You can get to be a first class whatever you want by coming here. And our longest tenured employee has been at US Borax for 55 years. 55 years. And he's an electrician, first class. And he grew up here. He came in as a laborer. So there are ways, but we have to do a better job of communicating that. And so when we went to the Job Fest, we talked to a whole lot of people. Some were people, young people that wanted to get a college degree, wanted to be an engineer or what have you. But there's a whole lot of kids who have no idea what they want to be when they grow up. But gosh darn, maybe they could be a blaster. Maybe they could be an electrician. Maybe they could be HVAC. We have all those skills, and you probably need them all.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm at the age where for decades we told our kids,
Yep.
you had to go to school, you had to get a college education for any job in the future, and unfortunately, we're seeing the impacts of that, right?
Yep.
Because we have generations of people that had the understanding they had to get a college education, and now we're struggling on the trade side.
Yep.
Good jobs, too.
Good jobs, good paying jobs.
And there's a lot of people that want to do the trade jobs.
Yeah,
They just
sure.
don't know that they can make a living doing something they love.
We'll help educate from high schools and the technical colleges on what's available and what the opportunities are, because the opportunities are going to be
Most of us in this room, I can resonate with what you're doing, because we're all interested in to the point, growing and diversifying the economy in our communities, and what you're doing is a big segment that we have been missing. So at a future meeting, perhaps, we coordinate having you talk about why you chose this area and what things, I think I know what they are down in Mojave, that attracted you, and perhaps the thought process could flow over to the other cities.
I'd be happy to do that, yeah, absolutely. So any opportunity to talk about the project there would be great.
Okay, very good.
Thank you, sorry for
Thank you so
taking
much.
so long.
I know you went over your time today, but, okay. I just started. Your alarm might go off too.
Good afternoon. I know where we're getting our steel for our project now, so that's pretty exciting.
Kurt Hildegrandt Hydro Store, we're developing the Willow Rock Energy Storage Center outside of Rosamond. Again, this is a very significant energy storage facility, the largest battery of its kind in North America, currently advancing, 500 megawatts by 8 hours. I'm reminded of escalation as well. When I started, it was under $1 billion, then it was $1 billion, now it's significantly over $1 billion project. So it is a very large CapEx project. Some of you may have heard that we did suspend our application at the California Energy Commission. The CEC, California Energy Commission, is the lead agency for permitting our project. They're responsible for thermal power plants, new thermal power plants in California. We've been busy optimizing our design and a lot of aspects of it. Again, this is the first utility scale project deploying our advanced compressed air energy storage technology. We want to get it right. So we've been working behind the scenes for the last number of months, really optimizing our design and a lot of aspects of the project. We're going to refile that application in January of this year and move forward with the project. We're very excited about the prospects for it. We have customers, we have transmission interconnection, we have all the critical elements that make the project happen. So the overall timeline, I wish we were before the county, but our lead agency is the Energy Commission. We expect about an 18-month review process at the Energy Commission. That would put us in mid-2025. We have about a 4+ year construction cycle for the project. So we're looking at 2029, 2030 for the operational start date for the facility. Again, 700 peak workforce jobs during construction, 250 average jobs over the course of construction, only 25 to 40 full-time O&M jobs inside the fence, but again, the multipliers and the property tax base will be very significant for the county. And we are taking advantage of the energy infrastructure here in Kern County, which is a huge resource, East Kern, and to better deploy that for the goals of the county and the state.
Yeah, I'd like to add also, and there, hydro storage presenting at the summit, and we have projects that like Universal Hydro and others, but hydro storage has secured significant Wall Street investors at Morgan Stanley or Goldman Sachs, $250 million. So I think the litmus test, we've seen an unprecedented number of renewable energy projects come in, but the way we really vet them is, do they have backing?
Right.
And so hydro storage, we've been really impressed by the support financially as they move forward. I mean, that commitment from Wall Street is really critical.
It is, especially, you know, it's easy to talk about billion-dollar projects, to finance them. It's a whole other ball of wax, and we're making great progress. You'll hear more announcements on the finance side as well. Yes.
Have you guys already started partnering up with the community colleges to get the skill set so we keep the jobs local here, so we can get our young people trained now, and when the jobs became available, they be qualified?
We've had some initial discussions. We're a little longer dated than Pacific Steel, but we certainly welcome and will seek out local college training programs and candidates. We have a very significant construction need for the facility.
Skill sets, skill
I just wanted to
traits.
thank you
Yeah, thank you.
My pleasure. Hope everybody liked it. Enjoyed mine.
Yeah, thank you.
One little quick commercial closing too. We're proud co-sponsors of the Vietnam War Memorial in Rosamond. I stopped by there yesterday. It's a very moving, very well done display. It's staffed by vets that know what they're talking about, and I would encourage everybody with the opportunity to stop by and pay your respects. It's through Monday, I believe.
Sunday at 3.
Sunday at 3.
Is it 24/7?
Yep.
It's 24/7. Thank you.
Thank you.
You wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, Karen, just head over to Rosemont. Yes.
Yeah, very good. Also, Hydro Store is hosting a lunch. If anyone from East Kern is going over to the Energy Summit, there's a special invite-only lunch that Hydro Store is hosting with KDC as a partner afterwards. So if you're interested
my friend.
Thank you.
The timer will go on, just so you know.
That's all good. All right, so good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mackenzie Gilly-Wright with AT&T. One of the reasons why I like to come here is because I have all of Kern County as my territory. I do external and legislative affairs, but I live in Los Angeles, so it's quite a commute, but very happy to be here. One of the things I just want to share is AT&T is currently modernizing its network. We're moving away from copper and trying to expand into fiber. Last month when I came for the first, well not last month, what was that, September? When I came, I talked about us doing a few applications for federal last mile funding. We were doing it in parts of Kern County and really wanted support, and a few of you reached out and said that you would, so appreciate that. We won't know the outcome of those applications until I think in the first quarter of 2024, so there'll be more to come there, but we definitely want to expand more in underserved and rural areas and get people connected.
We have AT&T here. The reason we can't do that is our connectivity isn't strong enough. So, we're on.
Understood. I got it on my things to remember. Another thing is I just wanted to make more connections in East Kern, specifically to Tehachapi, so I'm happy I've made a few of those. Rosamond, and then we also want to get in contact with Mojave School District as well as the Southern Kern School District. So if you have contacts there, please let me know so I can make those connections. Thank you. And the last thing is all about bridging the digital divide with us. And so there are some areas here that are not within our fiber footprint. That is not by our design. That's a law from the 70s, and I wasn't even around at that time. Either alive nor was I with AT&T. But we have things like digital literacy workshops that are for youth as well as all of us, including seniors, to help people understand how to use the internet safely and with their computers and mobile devices. So those are just a few things that I wanted to share, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you,
Thanks.
thank you, really well done. Those last educational things, how are you making those?
Like someone can say, where's the start button, and then we'll be able to help you. So it's those types of things. Any other questions? Sorry, I walked off like. Okay. Oh, yes, ma'am.
The superintendent of the Mojave Unified School District sits on the Mojave Chamber Board, and will be happy to provide contact information for anybody who wants to talk to Captain Geary about vocational training at the Mojave High School. There's an adult school that has a welding program. There's also a good adult school, I think, through Cal Cities High School, again, with vocational training for our local students.
That's perfect. Thank you. I'll come and see how
Someone else? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank
you very much. Okay, yes. Come on up.
Hi folks, my name is Daniel. As I mentioned, I'm a PhD candidate at Harvard. I had the pleasure of meeting Richard yesterday. I'm currently working on a project about the energy evolution going on here in the county. Not the technical side, but more the social side. So how is the energy evolution affecting the residents of the county, and how are you managing it? What are your thoughts and concerns about it? Could be anything from jobs to environment to anything in between. I'm interested in speaking to some of the industry folks. That sounds very interesting. But also the community folks as well. I'd love to connect with you guys, and please feel free to reach out to me.
Very good. Thank you. That's very interesting. Cool.
And you're from Western Massachusetts, where the you talk about where you're
So let me, if I can just give you a brief background. Sorry, I'm not the best public speaker. So I'm from Western Massachusetts, which is a former industrialized area. My dad worked in the factories. He worked in the factories as a high school dropout, and he lost his job when the factories were offshored to Mexico and to China. And I really grew up seeing how these kinds of industrial transitions really affect working people in the communities they live in. And so that's kind of what my area of expertise is in. I study the social aspects of industrial transitions. And over the past 5 years or so in graduate school, I've been studying the energy evolution and previously in the Gulf Coast, so Louisiana and Texas. Both on the job creation side, the effects on the oil industry, and how all these changes are affecting communities on the coast. So now I'm really bringing that expertise to here, and I really want to make sure that the folks in the county out here are, are getting a fair shake. So that's the goal of my project. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you.
And I know you're staying here several weeks. The great thing is you're not just doing this research from afar.
No, that is great.
For several weeks.
Yeah.
I'm here for several weeks, on and on, 1 month on, 3 months off, for about the next 2 to 3 years.
Wow, nice commitment. Good job. Anyone else? Cal? Jake? Cal Jake. It's Cal Jake show.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, you want to take it off?
Yeah, sure. I'll kick it off. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jay Lacey. I'm with the Economic Development Services team with Southern California Edison. Last time we were here, we were engaging our power service availability event that we had, and it was very well attended. A lot of good information out there. The main draw is if you have any projects in your communities, please let them know to connect with us. That way we can forecast and make sure that we're able to help provide support for any infrastructure needs for the communities in that way. And I'll let you finish up the second half of that.
Thank you, Jay. Jay and I, as you know, that the County of Kern has expressed some concern about electrical capacity issues in Kern County. Jay and I worked hand in glove together to host 2 events in Rosamond on the 25th of September. The first meeting that Jay hosted was customer facing and to talk about how to engage Edison. The second piece, and some of you in the room, I know Greg and Karen were there, as well as Supervisor Peters. The second meeting was executive engagement. Part of the commitment our president made to the chairman of the board was that we would engage on an executive level and have a conversation. I think the meeting was very good. A couple of things that came out of that, commitments by the county. One is a longer term, support state and federal regulatory reform. Obviously, that's going to be looking at CEQA reform like the AB 914, the Freedman bill, that would provide CEQA relief on some licensing projects. The second issue was the county committed to working with the cities to develop electrical forecasts, kind of a regional heat map, if you will, where the cities and the county think their economic development activities are going to occur. Those forecasts can be superimposed with SCEs to make sure that we're in alignment on where we think the growth is going to be. And then the third is a letter of support for the Cal City substation project. And Karen Macedonia was there to push for that, support that. So, I guess the takeaway from this, 2 things. One, the county doesn't view your project as a priority until it's through the entitlement process. I've been trying to convince them that, look, when a hydro store first talks to you, you better be talking to Jay. Earlier the better. We can shave a year off of that planning. As you know, customer subs 3 to 4 years. If you get in a licensing project, you could be looking at 6 to 10. And so the earlier the better. I would say that. The second takeaway from my perspective is the county engaged SC executives. We responded. The ball is in the county court now to produce these 3 commitments so we can move forward. And I'll leave it there. Anything else?
No, just thank you guys for your support, and we thank you for your partnership.
I don't want to distract from what you just stated, but where did you go to university?
Oh, Cal State.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully I didn't embarrass you guys too much.
Hold on, well.
Cal State, baby.
Shameless. The second part of me, if there's nobody else.
CSUB, do you have anything
Yeah.
you'd like to?
Do you want anything you want to add?
No, just give it Calvin.
Okay, well, perfect. I went to the University of Wisconsin, if that matters.
It does. Thank
Okay, Karen, what's your final thing you'd like to say?
Okay, my second identity is I hold 2 political offices. The second one is East Kern Healthcare District, which is a special district. I am the president, and we have been engaged for 6 or 8 months now with conversations with Ridgecrest Regional about having East Kern Healthcare District annex the territory where Ridgecrest Regional is. We just had a meeting with the East Kern Healthcare Board on Tuesday. The information is now starting the public part of the conversation. We have 6 to 8 months of hard work ahead of us. This could be incredible for the entire Eastern Kern area because we need access to health care. East Kern brought in, that's not fair. East Kern Healthcare brought in a consultant specializing in organizational development. They're going to engage with the community. We are about 3 to 4 weeks away from a formal letter of intent. With the LOI, we will declare that we are engaged because we will work through all the things that could be potential hard points. We've got to go through the CEQA process. We've got a 17-step LAFCO process. We have a whole lot in front of us. But the reason I wanted to make this announcement today, I need all the help I can get. So you can contact me. I've got cards with me or through ekhcd.org. Every single voice is important now because we're working on a plan that is intergenerational, multi-generational. We want to look 50 years into the future. How can we make this work for the entire East Kern? And the more I love economic development, but how do we have economic development without healthcare access beside it? Because businesses have to have access to healthcare. So I just wanted everybody to know we're working on it. We are at the point where we're really starting to have conversations. So half of me is dysfunctional and the other half is filled with hope. So just so you know, I'm schizophrenic.
Can I add to that?
Please.
Karen, I was present for part of that meeting, and this is critically important. Ridgecrest is a regional hospital. It is critical to the Maine Basin. It's critical to all of Eastern Sierra. And it's like many rural hospitals, due to overregulation, especially from the state during COVID, it's in extremis. And this is something that we anticipate to be a big boom, and if you can all participate in this, I encourage you, we're behind it 100%, working with Jim Super, the hospital CEO, and their board.
Thank you. And I did invite David into the room. I was driving up 14, I was at Red Rock Canyon, and my voice says, get David into the room. So he came in for lunch, and he talked to the consultants. He talked to all of us. He explained a little bit of the history of the region. And our consultants are really good. They're behavioral health, organizational health consultants. And we have LAFCO working with us. But we still have to get to the people. We have to get to those of us that live here. This is about our community, our residents, our access to health care, and how do we do it right. And we came up with 3 values, which I've been overlaying everything. The first one was access. The second one was excellence. If we can't do it right, why do it? And the third one is transparency. And that's what we're going to do everything we can to live with as we go forward with this. So thank you. Thank you, David.
Well, this is something, this group, for this kind of thing, this is why this group was formed, I believe, Richard. And what it can accomplish, the knowledge and awareness and relationships that we establish together in between our communities, that's key.
Absolutely. And after we get through we get the official letter of intent, and then we move to community engagement. And that's when I'm gonna need every voice that I can hear, because that's what we want. We want no stone unturned. We want every perspective. So thank you.
Okay. Good hat. Good hat. Keep that hat on.
Thank you.
Okay. We might get out of here, give people their time back. I just want to thank you all so very much. Can I ask you in the corner to stand up and go to that corner of that curtain? And there's a button that says open. It's right down below. That's how it works. Now it doesn't.
3, 2, 1.
What?
I don't know if I should.
Behind door number 1. Oh.
Yeah, you said explosion at 4:30, but you were gonna give us a brief.
Wow.
Beautiful vista of the mind. It's about 2 miles wide, about a mile and 3/4 across, and 900 feet deep. A bench is 50 feet.
Have you been down there?
Yeah.
I came in his late.
Yeah.